So nice to see all of you here, and we take a lot of pride in saying that Shivam Singh. I was the part of that interview panel when we interviewed him, and we were like very confident that he's a very deserving candidate and he should be getting a very good rank. And when he finally got the rank, he was already serving as an IRS officer. Before that, he was also a deputy collector under UP government. And finally, his dream came true of becoming an IAS officer. And that too within top 100, which is a really great achievement, So I would like to welcome Shivam sir.
Welcome.
Please have a round of applause to sir. So I won't take much time here. Let sir interact with you. And please, whatever the doubt and queries you have, please open your mouth. Don't be hesitant and ask your doubt. We are here to clarify your doubt, right? You have a lot of doubts. People have a lot of doubts regarding the preparation of UPSC. So he would simplify it. He would try to resolve all your doubts. All right. So here I am giving it to Shivam sir, and from here he will take the session. Thank you so much, Shivam sir.
Good afternoon. So, how you all want me to proceed? Like, should I list down the sources first for the prelims exam, since prelims is around the corner? I think most of you are preparing for prelims, freshers only. Most of you are freshers. So I will first list down the sources for prelims. Am I audible? Then I will take up the mains examination. First, the sources. What are the challenges you might face in mains? Then how to overcome those challenges? What is the importance of answer writing? And how to get your answers assessed properly? What is the role of a mentor? All these things will be covered. And at the flag end of the session, we will talk about the interview also. The role in this institute played, faculty, ma'am and sir played in the interview guidance program in the short period of time. Then we will take up the questions. Will that be okay? Can I use the board? See, prelims examination is all about revision. Prelims examination is all about revision. It's about solving as many mocks as you can. These two are the basics. And what you will revise? You will revise a fixed set of books. Usually in the age of internet, we have multiple sources. Like every other day, there is a new compilation coming up. Especially when the prelims is around the corner, many institutes are releasing the compilations. Ki read this, you will get 80 questions correct. So you should not fall into the trap of all this. You should have trust on the basic resources that is there. That will create a threshold of the knowledge that is required for clearing prelims time and again. If you depend on shortcuts, you might clear prelims once, but you will falter in mains. But if you are very good in your basic material, it will be good not only for the prelims, but for mains also, and it will help you qualify prelims again and again. Okay. So I will start with history. How many of you dislike medieval history? Most of the aspirants usually do so. So for medieval history, I read only a single source. For medieval history, I refer to Tamil Nadu Board NCERT. All of you are aware of this NCERT? If not, you can ask ma'am or any faculty. What is this? Oh. It's better I will just speak. You guys can write it down. Okay. Tamil Nadu Board NCERT for class 12th, medieval history. For ancient history, what I read was R.S. Sharma. How many of you are aware of R.S. Sharma? R.S. Sharma and Tamil Nadu Board NCERT. Okay. Then for modern history, I refer to spectrum. All are aware of spectrum. Is it so? Then for geography, I refer to the 4 NCRTs of class 11th and 12th. Physical NCRT, physical geography, human geography, economics wala geography, and also this Indian geography. There are 4 NCRTs. So these 4 NCRTs are must for geography, and because the questions are directly asked from these NCRTs. Then for economics, I refer to 12th class of macro NCRT. That pink color book, I think it's still coming, pink color book. And I supplemented it with Shankar Ganeshan. It's a very thin book, and all the concepts are very concisely given in that book. Then for environment and biodiversity, I refer to last 4 chapters of class 12th NCRT. And one institute's environment book is very famous. You can refer to that book also. Okay, all of you are aware of it. Then what all subjects are left? Polity. Polity is very obvious. Lakshmikant, everyone reads that. And I think nowadays many people are suggesting other books also. But it's better to just stick to that Lakshmikant, because all the concepts are covered more or less. And now the prelims questions of polity are more applied. So if your basics from Lakshmikant are good, you can solve the applied questions also. And if any question is difficult, it's difficult for everyone. Okay, you should not chase 100% of questions. That is one thumb rule for prelims also. You should not chase solving 100 questions. Then for science and tech, I refer to any institute's compilation by the end of your, before prelims. You can refer to any 365 material for prelims, for science and tech. Then I think these are the subjects. Any subject left? I'm not able to recall. Art and culture. Art and culture में fine arts का NCERT एक है. 11th class fine arts NCERT. I think red color book. And Nitin Singhania, a few chapters of Nitin Singhania. The first chapter in which their architecture is given. Second chapter in which I think dance forms and paintings and everything is given. These 2 are the most important. You should first cover these 2 chapters. And if I could recall, the first chapter is quite lengthy. It's 50-60 pages chapter. So these 2 chapters are must. So these are the books for prelims that I refer to. So these books I revised around 20 to 25 times. I have not counted it, but I have revised them time and again. So it might be more than 25 also. It might be less than 25 also, but I am more towards more than 25. So how revision helps? Revision helps in imbibing the concepts in your brain, because once you sit for studying, and if you are going through a book, and one suggestion I would like to give, since you all are very young, I would suggest you to revise with a pen and paper kept on a table. Because revision done by scribbling continuously. Suppose, for example, if you read a concept of temperature inversion in geography, then you have a diagram that the temperature below near the ground is decreasing as compared to the above. So you just read that concept and scribble it in a rough copy. Not in a proper writing, but just scribble it. Because while scribbling, it gets imbibed in your brain. Your brain wires are function that way. Because the moment you write things, those things will be reflected in the actual exam. But if you just read and close the book, you might not be able to recall it well. So this is the technique that I followed for both prelims and mains. Now comes the solving mocks. Many institutes are providing free mocks also. Once the prelims is closed, like for example, I solved around 20 free mocks that are available. Every institute every now and then provides 3 or 4 free mocks also. And the institute in which you are studying, it will also have its own test series. It's better to have this experience of giving the offline tests. We now have the habit of solving the online mocks, but it's better to come to the center and have that ambience and atmosphere and imbibe that pressure that comes on the D-Day. Usually what happens now, we have the knowledge in prelims, but we falter on the D-Day. Why it happens? Because we have a very high expectation from ourselves. We attach our life to this exam, which I also did, but and that results in a high pressure. So it's better to get trained before you face that high pressure. And how you do that? By attending the offline test. So I think this is one thing. I solved around 55 to 60 mocks. So I think anything near about 40-45 is a decent number. What happens? Now I will talk about the benefit of giving mocks. See, in prelims, if you have gone to the previous year question papers, many questions might be very random for you. You will feel like where this question is given. This is not given in any book. So how it comes? All these random questions can be solved by generating the aptitude of solving the questions. That aptitude of solving MCQ, it's like a playing game. You have your question, you have 4 options. It's a game of choosing the right option. And how you get better in that game is by practicing. By practicing, you get the knack of solving the prelims questions even after not knowing whether you know the concept or not, because these statements are framed in that way, or some basic concept that you might have read somewhere, it might be in that question in some form or the other, the applied form. So it's better to solve as many mocks as possible. It will create that knack of solving random questions. It's very important. I think if you're not solving the mocks for prelims, it's very difficult to get through. Okay. And one thing for prelims which I shouldn't forget is the CSAT part. I failed 2 times in CSAT. Once I got 65.83 in CSAT. So I think 66 is the qualifying. And once I failed miserably. And why this happens? See, in 2021 attempt, if I could recall, I solved around 50 marks for paper 1. See, I was ready for paper 1, but I didn't solve any paper for CSAT. I was confident. I was overconfident. So that's how you differentiate between confidence and overconfidence. And how you get the confidence? You get the confidence by solving papers. So you solve a couple of mocks for CSAT also. It's better to be prepared, because if you do well in paper 1, you fail in CSAT, it's like failing a year. And you feel very bad. I have failed that. So I would suggest prepare CSAT also. You can refer to any YouTube series, or if the classes are in the institute only, you can refer to that. And go through the previous year papers, prepare a list of the topics that are majorly asked in the CSAT. Like number system is asked, I think 12 to 13 questions. Then series wala question are 4-5. So prepare this topic list and then refer to a YouTube series of any institute, solve the previous year question papers, and you are done. At least do this so that you do not falter your CSAT. I am emphasizing more because I know the pain of failing in CSAT. So I think this is for prelims. For mains per se, I think the most important thing is the answer writing and how you do the answer writing. You cannot just do the answer writing from day 1. You need to have the content for doing the answer writing. So how you get the content? The basics always remain same. The books that I mentioned are the books that will help to 30 to 40% of your mains preparation also, provided you have a good revision of those books. Good revision means if I tell you the concept of how the temperature varies in June in a geography book, you refer to the page number at which it is given. So this is the humane revision that you need to have of every book, and this will only be possible if you keep your resources limited, because if you just wander around in the resources, you won't be able to revise it. So for mains, I will talk GS paper wise, and in GS paper 1, most of the topics I start. How many of you have gone through the main syllabus? You have the rough idea of like what are the major topics. So in GS paper 1, it's mostly static. For this geography and history wala part, the resource remains same, the prelim source. For world history, I refer to Tamil Nadu NCERT. It's very judicially given, point wise things are given. Questions are like hardly asked, and 1-2 questions are asked from world history, so you can answer from that. For Indian society, you need to refer to any coaching's material. I have referred to an institute's material. So what happens? They provide you the easy to read material with the proper keywords and everything. So you can refer to any material. It can be suggested by me also. If you want, I can suggest you outside. It can be suggested by your faculty also. So I think it's very important to refer to any concise material for mains, because you cannot find everything in a standard book, and it will also save your time. So for society, I did refer to a material, and then for world history, there is a book called GC Leong. So it will help you in mains, if not in prelims. So you cannot run away from GC Leong, you have to read it for mains. Okay, then for GS2, polity, same Lakshmikant. Then you have to prepare many court cases which are there, because nowadays the questions like right to privacy, and like in my year also there was privacy of a newborn child, all these things were asked. So you have to refer to Supreme Court judgments in those cases. So these judgments again from compilations, any mains compilation. can help. Similarly for IR part also, any main compilation can help. I had a mentor and who provided me this material, and we prepared it theme wise, every theme, like society as a theme and solved 10 questions. Then IR as a theme, I solved 10 questions. So I prepared mains theme wise. It's better to prepare like this because in a 20 question, it's very difficult to find out which question is from which section of a syllabus. Better to write those 10 questions of IR before, so that any question on IR comes, becomes easy for you to answer. For GS3, which is very random and also it's very more factual also. So for GS3, you can refer to any coaching's material. I will suggest you, if you ask me, I will suggest you later on which material to refer. But again, I referred GS3 from a institute's material. And GS4, again, you have to prepare topic wise. Whatever given in the syllabus, you have to prepare one-pager notes for everything. For example, the first topic in ethics is ethics and human interface. Second is aptitude, then probity, then about this attitude. So all these topics that are given in syllabus, you have to prepare notes for everything. Because if a question on aptitude comes, you need not to think many times what to write. You should have a ready-made material. What is the definition of attitude? What are the components of attitude? How it is formed? How it is changed? What is the application? And what are the functions of it? So these notes should be made very handy for the syllabus part. And for case study, you need to have a proper practice of case studies by writing tests. So the importance of writing tests, answer writing in the mains cannot be negated. What happened? Last year, I didn't write any answer for mains. Since I was working also, I had less time, so I focused more on collecting the material and revising more. So I left around 90 to 100 marks of question. So once you leave a single question, you are out of the competition. It's supposed to be. So if you leave 90 to 100 marks, you are done with the exam. So how to not do that? You can only achieve solving all the questions once you have a thorough answer writing practice. And it's better to start early, write as bad as you can write. There are faculty, there are mentors who are ready to suggest you. Once you get into the process, you will keep fearing. Like I think I used to fear like that. I used to fear like, what if I write the first answer, it's very bad. It will be bad. It's very obvious. Every topper, every person who qualified wrote the first answer some or the other time. It's good to start early and get your answers checked and keep on improving. It's a long and ongoing process. If you don't start, you won't reach the end. So start the answer writing, do as much as you can, write as much as you can, go through the previous year papers and just get the taste of how the UPSC is setting the questions. Like this time there were very lengthy questions. There were 3-4 questions in a particular question. So you have to address each and every section of that question to get the marks. So you have to get the thought process behind it. So that can be garnered from the previous year question papers of UPSC and by writing answers. That's very important. So this is a brief of prelims and mains. I think I have not been too fast. So you can ask questions regarding prelims and mains, then we can discuss about the interview. I can take up questions for prelims and mains. Anything, not just the content part, but anything in general in life, like how to tackle things and all. How to be disciplined and everything. Essay. See, essay traditionally used to be like this. We used to write political dimension, economic dimension, but I think now it's not working. I can't say conclusively, but from what I have referred to my the selected batchmates, now you have to open dimensions that are more close to you. For example, last year I got good marks in essay, and last year there was a topic, not all who enter or lost. So in that essay, I opened the dimensions that are more closer. Like I talked about how individual can wander in his own life, how every individual is wandering. Like I used to wander while preparing for civil services. It's not 100% guarantee that you will reach your goal. Now, then I talked about society, how the society earlier had the all wrong things like sati pratha and all. Then we all wandered towards a better society. Now we have a democratic society. So open dimensions that are more closer to you. It's very easy to open economics, technological and social dimensions, but we often overlook what is very close to us. Talk about individuality, talk about society, talk about family, talk about personal relationship. Like in a relationship, we have to wander a lot. Okay, we have to face challenges. We have to talk it out. Then talk about nation, talk about society, talk about international, talk about the role of India. then in essay always open a counter dimension. Suppose in the same essay, there is also a chance like a person who is wandering may get lost. And how a person cannot be lost? By a proper guidance, proper mentorship. So this is the counter dimension of the essay. So always open a counter dimension in an essay. It will add a new flavor to your essay, and it will also make your essay more like open-ended, more closer to the person who is reading it. You will also feel good while reading your essay. So move away from the traditional pastel format and bring it more closer to you. So this is what I did. Anything? Huh. See, like I told you, it's a process. Okay, once you will start, I think you will be able to write your first answer in 15 minutes. But in exam, you have to write in 7 minutes. So, once you will start, you will come to know where are you faltering, how much you need to improve, what is the content you need to refer. Once you do all the prerequisites that are required for a good answer, you won't be able to jump directly to a good answer. Okay, so you have to do all the homework that is required for writing a good answer, like reading the material, revising the material, answering first question at least, getting it checked. Then slowly you will move to a good level to which you will be able to answer in a decent amount of time with a good quality and good marks. So it's a process. See, I didn't make any short notes from NCERT because I think every page of NCERT is important. And I don't think any NCERT is too much thick to not be read again and again. It's better to refer to NCERT and make your NCERT look colorful. I used to scribble a lot in the NCERT itself. I used to highlight a lot in the NCERT. Even my Lakshmikant, which is this much thick, it became this much thick because of the highlighting and writing it. So I prefer to read directly from the books and not preparing separate notes. Notes are more helpful for mains and from those sources which are not directly available in a standard book. Anything else? Material for essay. See, I refer to an individual's guidance program. So I will tell you, okay, afterwards I will tell you. And he guided very well all these dimensions which I am telling you, I learned from him. And last year I took his help and it helped me in the essay. So I will tell you it's a free source, YouTube only. I will tell you, you can refer that. It will develop a flavor. He is very good in developing a flavor. He will explain all the previous year essays in that way only, in those dimensions only. It will open up a new view of thinking about the essay. I think it helped. I will tell you. And I will list down also, ma'am. You can later on circulate that. Anything on the prelims part per se? Because I think prelims is the most fearful stage for the new aspirants. But trust me, once you qualify prelims, mains becomes the most fearful. And once you qualify mains, the interview becomes the most fearful. It's a process. Anything? For interview, like I think the most important factor is the confidence. And confidence doesn't come overnight. It comes from a well-read mind, I think. If you are knowledgeable, if you have covered your basics well, and since you have qualified mains, it's supposed to be that you are well-read. It comes from a good background also, I think. That cannot be negated. People from engineering background have faced those tough situations when they were in college. Similarly, people from BSc and BA background, they have read a lot, they have a good knowledge also. So it may provide confidence to them. So everyone have a different factor of confidence. So one is the confidence. Second is speaking ability that you should not need to have from the day one. There are mentors, there are institutions that can guide you for the interview guidance programs. And third thing is you need to be more articulate in answer. You need to have this ability of taking a pause before answer. Because a person is asking some question, it's very random to you. You need not to have the answer ready-made. So how you generate the answer? You generate the answer by keeping a pause for 4-5 seconds and then answering. So generate this habit from this time only. Like if you are explaining something to someone, suppose if you are explaining any concept to your friend, explain him or her in such a way that the person understands it completely. So this is how you make your opinions more articulated. That's very important for interview. And for interview, give as many mocks as possible. Like last year I gave around 15-16 mocks. It's very important to open your mind, very important to touch upon every section of your DAF, which is the detailed application form. This time I was not able to give as many mocks because I was undergoing training. So I think, yeah, these three are the most important thing, and rest you will come to know once you arrive at that stage. Newspaper. For current affairs, I prepared notes out of newspaper, and I read the Hindu. You can read Express also, and whatever newspaper you feel good, you can read. I prepared notes out of newspaper. It took me 2 hours to read the newspaper and prepare notes. And I supplemented it with the institute's daily current affairs, any institute, daily current affairs. So what it makes your current affairs learning more active, not passive, just depending upon an institute's magazine by the end of the month. I think that's not a good way. People might have read that and might have topped in the exam, but this is what I did, is preparing directly from the newspaper, coupling it with the daily current affairs, and then keeping my notes and keep on revising. And also once you solve the mocks, suppose if you solve 25 mocks, then after 25 mocks you have a decent content of those mocks also. You have to analyze each mock for 2 hours, because mocks not only provide you marks, it provides you a lot of content. So I think you should see mocks not for marks per se, but for content. So I used to prepare separate notes out of all the mocks. I had a big register in which I prepared all those places in which I faltered in the mock, the new concept that I learned from the mock. So it helps solving the random questions in the actual exam. I think this is how you use the mocks, and the newspaper part I think I have answered. Schedule. It varied. When I was not working, so I used to study when I was awake. Whenever I was awake, I used to study. But once I got into service, I had the paucity of time. So for prelims, there were times when I used to read prelims in my vehicle while going to office for an hour. So I think it varies from person to person, the situation you are in your life. If you have a full day at your disposal, you can divide the day's schedule in a optional ko 2 ghante, then current affairs for 2 hours, and for 2-3 subjects in a day. So you can prepare timetable that way. I think it varies. It varied for me because I had in a different situation over the years. Do target-based study. Prepare a target for a week and try to achieve the target. It's okay if you're not able to achieve. Everyone fails, but try to cover it up. You're asking something. Optional. So you guys have opted your optional. Firm with it. Like I selected my optional from the very beginning when I was in college final year. My optional is anthropology, and over the years, I got the highest in UPPCS also. I got highest in this year also. So optional always helped me, but what it takes your discipline. Many a times there might be attempts when you will get less marks in optional, then you will feel like changing the optional. So I think you did your lot of hard work for reaching those 250, 260 marks. Changing a optional, many people have done that, but I would suggest if you improve, if you value addition for what all you have already read, so there are high chances of getting more marks next attempt, rather than referring to an extremely new optional. So the people have this tendency of changing optionals multiple times. I think you need to be very true to the optional, whichever you have opted for, and keep preparing for it. And there is no optional which is very good or which is very bad. Every optional can get you a top rank. It's only about what it takes. You are doing what it takes. That's all. If you want any suggestion about anthro optional person, for anthro optional, see, I went to a coaching for anthro optional in 2020. Then that helped me in for UPPCS. For this year, I refer to a YouTube channel. Its name is Anthropology for UPSC. The channel name is Anthropology for UPSC, and in its description there are links for notes. Complete notes for paper 1, complete notes for paper 2. Those notes are very bulky, and those notes are made out of all the standard sources which you read from, like Amber and Ember, and what all books are there. I never refer to a standard book. I refer to only these materials. These are bulky notes. They have video for each and every topic of the syllabus. So I think you can start preparing from there only, and you can cover your entire syllabus from the videos first and then do the value addition from the notes. So how to get more marks in Anthro? I think this time I added case studies for every answer. For example, there is a question regarding the tribal art in Jharkhand. So you know the tribes, you know the location of tribes in a Jharkhand map or India map, but you have to add the case studies also. For example, some X tribe in Jharkhand, this village, do this in the form of art. So this can also be traded in the Tribe India platform and all. So you add the case studies for every answer. And where will you get those case studies? Those case studies are available on these sources which I mentioned. Okay. So this is how I prepared Anthro, and I did like answer writing for Anthro also. It's more about presentation, it's more about adding diagrams, maps and all, rather than just reading multiple sources. So I always had this philosophy of sticking to one source. I think I would suggest that. See, Topper's answer I never referred. You can refer. I think it mostly helps for essay, because the toppers who are getting good marks in essay, they have a unique way of expressing their viewpoints. In the initial phase, you can use those to generate your own viewpoints, and the person that I suggested on the YouTube, I will suggest you. So I think toppers for that, and for Anthro, I never refer to. I think you need to prepare your basics first. Prepare what is given in the syllabus first. Then all these things like toppers copy, any evaluation material is a auxiliary thing. First do what is the basic. Do what is given in the syllabus first. Then eventually you can do the value addition part. But if you are weak at the basic, you wouldn't be able to solve the basic question, even if you refer to a topper copy. Anything else? Previous year question paper. Previous year question paper is important at all the levels of this exam. Like for GS prelims, you get to know like which section of the syllabus is asked more. You get the preference of the topics that you need to prepare. You get the flavor of setting the question paper. So all these psychological things that goes in a prelims can be helped by solving the previous year question papers. So how you do that? Suppose if you prepare a geography NCRT, like if you read 2 NCRTs of geography, you go through the previous year geography questions of prelims. Try to solve them. If you're not able to solve, that means you have not read well. Then go back to the book and read it according to how the questions are set. So this will generate an aptitude of getting the mindset of how the questions are set. So the next time you will read the same material, you have a different mindset of reading that book. So that mindset can be generated by referring to these previous year questions for all the subjects. Similarly, it helps in mains also. It helps you identifying which areas are asked very frequently. Then you prepare more those areas and less for those areas which are less asked. So this is how you get the trend of the exam by referring to the previous year question papers. It helps in every step, prelims, CSAT, mains, everything. So you have to refer to get the trend first. Economy, I refer to only 2 books, Macro NCRT and Shankar Ganeshan for prelims. And since I was reading newspaper, I was well aware of what are the things happening in the economy near about. And so I think I solved from these questions, these sources only. You need to have the confidence that if you are referring to 2 books, the questions will come from 2 books. You should have this confidence. Then only you will be able to solve the random questions. Because if you have this mindset that this question I did not read anywhere, I will just leave. So you will be leaving around 60 questions in prelims. So it's better to have a confidence that whatever I am reading, questions will come from this one. Yeah. You are also preparing. No, it's too young for you. Time management. Time management for what? See, I did along with the public service. And being in a service in which you have to be available 24/7. See, I was working as a SDM. I was part of two major elections, Nagar Panchayat election and Lok Sabha election. So I think if you give the reasoning that you don't have time, that means you are not honest to your goal. Okay, you have to find your own way. You have to read, like when the faculty is teaching in a college, you can read your own material, UPSC material. See, current affairs, you should target your exam year first. Like suppose if you are targeting 2027 and 2028, so you should focus less on current affairs now, because these current affairs won't be a current affairs that time. Everything will change. So this time you should focus more on the basics. Cover your basic NCRTs, cover your basic material, generate the aptitude of setting for long number of hours. Hai? So that is more important for the foundational years. And once you arrive in the exam year, you focus on current affairs. Prioritize things. Prioritizing things is very important. I think most of the questions are taken. Any more questions if you have? One year. 1 year means for next attempt. So I think you should set the target of completing your optional before prelims, because completing optional before prelims provides you a wide window of revising and answer writing. The two things you need to do before prelims is the ethics and optional. So you should devote your time for prelims and for optional at this point of time till November, December. You should prepare optional once at least. Then from January, you do the revision part of whatever option you have once at least, and complete ethics in 2 months till February. And from March, April, May, you focus solely on the prelims. So this is how you divide a year. Because suppose if you clear prelims and you are completely new to your optional, it's as same as failing in prelims. Because eventually the main game is mains exam. Marks of mains exam is getting added for the final merit. So you have this thing of in your mind that you have to give mains exam. So for that you have to prepare your optional and ethics beforehand. So this is how you plan. I'm not able to hear you. Prelims elimination technique. Okay. See how elimination comes. It comes from whatever I told you. It comes from practice. See, once you solve number of questions, you get to know which option can be correct, which option can be wrong, and you can eliminate those options which are supposed to be wrong, and you can arrive at a right answer. Suppose if you solve 4 questions like that, and if you take 3 questions wrong, 1 question correct, then also it's equal. It doesn't cost you anything. But what if you correct 2 questions and 2 wrong? It will add up to your marks. So this is how you play the game of prelims. Because in prelims there are hardly 30 to 35 questions that you are knowing, but you have to solve around 80-85 questions. So you do this by elimination technique, and this elimination comes from revising the same source many times and solving as many mocks as possible. These two are the bread and butter for prelims, and if you don't do these, it will be very difficult to clear prelims. CSAT I told you, prepare the list of the topics. It's already given in many institutes website, and refer to the topic wise depending upon its weightage from any YouTube series, and watch the video, like prepare the concept and solve the previous year questions. That's it. I will tell you outside. Okay. And for like many institutes are there, I will name the institutes to ma'am. Ma'am will tell you. Okay. How to analyze the articles. See, for this you should be aware of syllabus. Like for example, in GS3 there is a topic of internal security, and if a article is talking about what are the advantages India have in terms of its internal security given its topography and boundary, So link every article with the section of topic that is given in a GS paper. Suppose if a topic is anything, you write that. It links to GS3. So it will be better to read a topic and prepare it well if you are able to link it with the syllabus part. For this, you should be well aware of a syllabus first and refer to only those topics that are related to your syllabus and not any random article. Then how you analyze it? You read the article once, any newspaper, you get the gist of what the author or editor is trying to express. If that idea you think is a positive one and it's a suggestive one that you can write in an answer, just write 2-3 points about it. Don't copy directly from the article. First understand the article, write 2-3 points from your own words and prepare a short note of it in your own words, not directly from the newspaper. So this is how you first get the gist of it and write 2-3 points of it and try to use it in your answer. Once you use it in your 2-3 answers, it will get into your subconscious and it will come automatically. Revision. Revision for mains is coupled with answer writing because once you solve the test, the concept keep on revising. Focus more on answer writing mains because it's very important to complete paper. If you don't complete paper, it's very difficult. So focus more on writing answers. It will help you revising the concepts also. Eventually, because in both the cases you are recalling the concepts. So I did that way. I focus more on answer writing. Done. Okay. So, you are writing UPSC mains in Kannada. But I think the translation is also there, no? Prelims also there is a translation on left side. No, it's not there. So you have problem in English. So you can refer to English version. No? Well, I am not able to understand your question. You are talking about mains exam. So you want to write in Kannada. So like who is stopping you? Like what is your problem? Like I am not able to get it. Okay. I think I'm not in a better position to tell that. I think you might be having materials of your original language available. I don't know how it's here because in UP we have things in Hindi. So since I come from UP and Hindi materials are easily available and I hope so the regional language material is also available here also. So I think once you talk to ma'am and talk to the mentors who are there, I think they would be better to suggest. How many of you from this place only, like Karnataka state? Everyone? See, I came here for interview, mock interview, because I was undergoing training for IRS and in the for IRS customs. Academy is in Andhra only. It's 2 hours distance from this place. So me along with my batchmates, around I think 8 to 10 batchmates, we came here for mock interview. So this is how I got introduced to this place. And questions were very good on DAF part, so it helped me preparing my DAF well. So this is how it contributed. So many people, including your friends and family, everyone will have some contributions for your success. So I think always remember them, because we often say that there is a huge luck factor that plays into this exam. So how the luck is made? Luck is made by doing good for others. So keep on doing good for others. Always show gratitude from whom you are learning. It's all very important. And this will reflect in your luck. This is how you build your luck. So this is from my own practical experience. So I think, ma'am, this is it from my side. Thank you so much. Notes on hobbies. Now is not the time to focus on that. You should focus first on this prelims and mains. All these hobby notes and everything can be tackled later on. Once you reach to that stage, there will be enough time, 2-3 months time to prepare for that. You can do that. See, the interview boards are like they have a very rich experience. They have cumulatively experience of more than 100 years maybe. So they test you. They test your personality. You cannot fake there. Okay, so my interview revolved mostly around my own work experience. My answers were also more applied, more from the field. So it depends upon your profile. If your profile is not of any experience, rightly out of college, so expect questions from the graduation subject. Okay, so this is how you provide them through a detailed application form. So I had a lot of experience in my DAF, so questions were mostly around from experience. Again, the two things are very important: confidence and content. You have the confidence, it's better, it's always better to say no if you don't know the answer. There is nothing harm in saying no, especially in the interview stage. But the harm is very much high if you just bluff around. You should not do that. Develop the habit of saying no. If your friend asks, let's go for a party today, say no. So develop this habit from day one of saying no. Okay. Thank you.
I would like to extend my thanks and gratitude on behalf of Grace IS to Shivam Singh. And I'm really happy the way he spoke and enlightened the students over here. I'm sure you will be much better to understand about the UPSC. After you leave the class, you would be much more enlightened. And this session was really very insightful. Thank you so much, sir. Thank you so much.